Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Robb Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to The Mike O'Mara Show. We're heard all over the place. I know a lot of people from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and they're all Democrat. No.
You love the state, though.
I do. A very clean state, very good rest stops. At least that was my experience when we did our road trip.
High praise indeed.
Well, you got to take what you can get. Surf City, North Carolina, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, Point Pleasant, New Jersey, the Rock of Gibraltar. You're my Rock of Gibraltar, Rob.
And UI.
And Easter Island, Chile. The Mike O'Mara Show is on now. We're joined by Robb Spiewak, who had a good medical report yesterday, and we're very happy to hear that. And
very pleased. Yes,
that's a good thing, and we're looking forward to more of those down the road. And if there aren't, we'll do a nice tribute. But anyway, that's that. Yeah,
when did you start
joke because of the good news yesterday?
When did you start putting the file together, like at the Washington Post, where they have the file ready to go?
Yeah, I wouldn't have to do that. We've been together the whole time, so it's not
That's
necessary.
True. That's true.
So I want to pull the curtain back. We're gonna have an interesting conversation right now. So the show is chugging along quite nicely. We're looking forward to Robb continuing his journey. It's really cool that relatively soon, since you were in really dire straits, you've been able to join us a couple of times a week. Still planning on joining us tomorrow for the bonus show, which is good news, and
looking forward to it.
You look good. You look better every time I see you, and I'm happy.
Well, have you noticed?
So skinny. Your face is so skinny.
Well, have you noticed that I for the first time since the whole hospital thing, I got out my Harry's razor and I shaved my head again.
Hey, way to go with a plug. I like that. That's awesome. So
yeah. So I felt that was a big mood builder to actually get my face.
How much weight are you down?
51 pounds.
51, yeah. You can tell right away.
51 pounds.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
In a month.
That is
amazing.
really, really
well, I
amazing.
have to be. The doctor he said, be careful because in 5 months you could be gone. No, I'm kidding. Like disappeared all the way.
You're not allowed to joke like that.
I should have misphrased it. No, but I'm saying obviously the weight loss has tapered off. But yeah, it's weird to especially yesterday because I had a big beard going on to shave it all off and look at and I can see it in my face. I can see it in my face, which is great.
Yeah, your chin is I haven't seen your chin in like 8 years.
I have a goal weight. Weight that I've always fantasized about getting to, and if I ever get to that goal weight, I will tear off this facial hair.
Really?
I'll shave it off. Yeah, I'll shave it off.
You've been threatening that for 20 years.
I know, and we'll see what happens.
Could you leave the mustache?
No, because that would be too old. You know what? Facial hair, when you have it and then you rely on it and then it becomes a regular part of you. I talked a few weeks ago about getting together with my old radio buddy from like 40 years ago at the beginning of my career.
Ed Walker?
And, no, my buddy Dave. My buddy Dave Donato.
Oh, right.
And Dave Donato's been out of the business for 1 million years. He's in commercial stuff, real estate. That's what he's done forever. He was smart enough to get out of the business. So I meet him at to play a round of golf, and I see him across the parking lot. And because the only reason that I said was his facial hair. It was so white.
Oh,
just
my
like
God,
mine is so white. You go back and look at my beard. And yes, by the way, publicity photos, you're absolutely right, whoever brought that up. Yeah, we do need an update because I'm all dark, with my facial hair. And I was probably coloring it back then already,
I think it came up. Yeah, there were times that I think as I recall the era of those publicity pictures, sometimes it was, oh, Mike looks good, and sometimes it looks like Mike is about to pull a rabbit out of a hat. Because
Blackstone. One day I really overcooked it with the hair dye. It was horrible. It was a horrible experience. But that's not what I want to talk about. I'm glad you're here, Robb, because I need a buffer here as I talk to Oscar about this.
Michael
Buffer. So Oscar comes in this morning, and he's got his helmet on for his e-bike because he's been really digging the e-bike. And what I haven't done...
And just to be clear, Mike, this is not the same helmet that he wears around the office for safety.
No.
This is a helmet
with
that he wears.
corrective shoes. When you haven't been here, I'm trying to keep the show as light and as happy and nice as possible. But I have not shared with Oscar my extreme jealousy and feelings of neglect that Oscar, when we do a sponsorship, whether it be Theragun, whether it be Harry's Razors, more often than not, the product that we are advertising is sent along, Dadgrass being a small example, and sent along, and it is provided for one of the hosts, if not all of the hosts, to endorse the product.
Correct.
Yes.
And suddenly, a few weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I am informed that we have a new sponsor, Lectric Bike. That is like electric shape.
Electric e-bike.
Electric e-bike. And suddenly I see that Oscar's got this brand new electric bike. And I say with you here, Robb Spiewak,
yes.
I cycle. I hop on bikes once in a while. I have limited space down here, and suddenly no one even asked me if I was interested at all in the electric bike. And
to be fair, Mike, this came to us through because of the success we had with Solo Stove, and they said they thought we'd be a good fit for this, and we were back and forth a little bit. And I said to Oscar, "Are you in?" He says he's way in, and I said all the hosts are into this, and they said at this point they're willing to provide. The client is willing to provide one electric e-bike.
We asked for 3.
We did ask for 3.
Well, who does the spots? Is my question.
Yeah, but we were being
now. With that said, before you start your defense,
no, it's not my defense. We actually went back and forth, Rob and I. This is part of the conversation. We said, "Is Mike going to get jealous and be petty if it comes to me?"
I can tell you exactly what would have happened if you came to me and said, "Do you want an electric bike? There's only one available." I would have said, "Give it to Oscar. I think Oscar will really be able to use it."
So we went.
That's exactly what I would have said.
We sat around and said, "Who's actually going to use this and not fake it?" And I said, "It's going to be me."
That's not the way it should happen. It should happen openly and honestly to me.
You don't need.
You
the
don't
bike.
make that determination. I make that determination.
No, Mike.
You don't make that. You don't make that call. I just want to be asked, and it's like you can't sit there. There's the disrespect I'm talking about because he says. You're not going to use it. Well, that's not your call. My call. I would have liked to be asked.
Mike,
I would have said, yes, you'll use it more. I would have liked to be asked. And there it is.
You don't understand.
Disrespect.
We didn't send Dadgrass to you initially because we knew you weren't going to use it unless you wanted it. And if you wanted it, we asked.
Dadgrass isn't a fun, cool bike, which I would have.
This is my point.
What?
We want to be able to endorse it in real time. This is why we do this.
No, but I would have liked to be asked. What do you think, Mike?
But you know that in the real scheme of things, it is so tailor-made for Oscar's lifestyle.
Yeah, well, I probably would have agreed. I would have. Excuse me, not probably.
Let's involve you in the conversation. That is fair.
I would have agreed.
That is fair.
Okay.
It is your show, so that is fair. We should ask.
I would have agreed, though.
Yes,
100%.
Yeah,
Oscar would be the one to
Rob,
hop on the thing.
We've been making these decisions for 5 years this way. We should stop and then change things.
Yes,
hold on.
Exactly.
Hold on, shut up, you. Hold on.
And also about the tone
right there.
About the tone of the show. I think the tone of the show should change.
Tone of the. Do you miss this, Rob? Do you miss this?
A lot.
Right
a lot.
So
yeah.
Here it is. So here are the two things you need to know.
Miss you like vodka and throwing up blood.
By the way, it should be. We should do this behind the scenes but it's funnier on the air. We should have a price point, right? On the really nice big ticket
so there's
items.
a certain value that we have to consider.
Yeah. You're above $1,000. This is below $1,000.
No, I don't see. I think it should because I know it's a phenomenal deal.
Yeah.
It's a great product.
$700
right?
bucks. Oh my
yeah,
God!
starting at $7.99. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's the most. The operative question would be though, if there was more than one, and I don't blame them at all for with 3 hosts. They don't throw 4 bikes to every radio show in the country.
Right.
They can't do that. If it was available, I would have said yes. In a heartbeat.
I think
does that make sense to both?
Yes,
of you?
I think
yes.
I think the burn, and I've shared this with Rob, and he probably doesn't remember because it was years ago.
Yes,
was when we had an endorsement with GE, General Electric, and they had 2 swash at-home dry cleaning machines.
I remember the swash
machine.
machine.
I pivoted.
Yeah, but that was a different structure entirely.
There was actually more money than we ever got, ever for any endorsement in one payment. It was wild. But
that was because it was this whole thing that you orchestrated.
Correct,
wasn't it?
but it's still part of the show.
You did a video, by the way, that still lingers on our website.
It's still part of the show. And
what?
No, when I brought it to you so you could get one, it was part of the show. It was a show endorsement.
Okay, but wasn't it bigger than that too? Weren't there some more videos made and stuff?
Correct, but that had nothing to do with you. This is just a regular. This is for the show. I'm just talking about the show aspect of it.
That's that little thing that you take the wrinkles out of your shirt.
Correct,
right?
Correct. So we get that.
That was the official motto on the box.
We get
Are
that.
They still associated with us?
No. But thousands of dollars were put
in my garage.
In your coffers. So I
died in my garage. What's that smell?
Rob, I go to Mike on the air. I'm like, hey, how's the swash doing during the spot?
Right.
And then off air, he's like, hey man, I don't know how to tell you this, but we lost the swash in the storage unit. And I said,
I remember. Oh my God, I do remember this. We lost the swash.
We lost it.
Yeah. So I think ever since then, I've been gun shy to send you things that I'm not 100% sure you're going to use.
People, if you want to know what Mike's storage unit is, look at the last scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what Mike's storage. Everything is in wooden trays.
It's Silence of the Lambs. Oh, he's got the head in the jar. So that's all. Anyway, aside from that meaningless crap, the right person has it, and you are. Correct me if I'm wrong. You are all in on this, correct? I mean, you are really. It is aiding you in getting to work and to and from work. Is that right?
If you live in the city, there are different ways you can get to work. You got bus, you can get public transportation, you can Uber, you can have your own car. Having your own car comes with other expenses, as most people know in big cities, like $400 parking garage bills every month.
And Mike, I don't know if you've heard this, but gas prices are at an all-time high.
Yeah, but gas prices are negligible in the city because if you live in the city, you're probably just going less than a mile, so it's not like it's been hitting you from the beginning, right?
Exactly.
So I've been going back and forth with this bike for some time now. That was the 4th or 5th trip, and when I tell you the beauty of not BSing with anybody in traffic and just going, and we're lucky to live in a city with very clear bike lanes and rolling on the bike.
Be honest, you're mostly on the sidewalk.
Rolling on the bike lane with this guy.
Can you do the sidewalk? Do you do the sidewalk?
I do not do the
sidewalk.
No,
you wouldn't do that. That'd be illegal and you'd kill people.
No. Okay. No. Right, but on the bike lanes, Mike, you probably saw them, and maybe you noticed them last time you were here. There are bike lanes on every major artery going in and out of the city that are designated.
Hold your helmet up.
Yeah, this is
right. Do you take your helmet off and then do your pompadour before or after? I mean,
afterwards. I just throw it on and then.
Is there any chance we could get a demonstration of your helmet just for fun?
Oh, on right now?
It would be a great TV
day. I love it. Yeah,
great. TV
so just before I'll let you know, full helmet like you would
very
on
safe.
DOT by the way. DOT. Department of Transportation certified.
Yeah, that's
right?
the regular.
Perfect.
Yeah, I've seen them. I've had many.
I remember,
and it's also necessary if you want to boss the stormtroopers around.
Well, this is the thing. There are so many people we know that ride on these e-bikes and e-scooters, whatever they may be. And God bless you. You want to do your thing? Don't wear a helmet. That's fine. I have a lot of mouths to feed and a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah,
so I will wear a helmet.
Now that I've been out of it for a few years, I was a bad biker. I rode a lot without a helmet, and I shouldn't have. And I don't ride anymore. And so, or at least it's not that I don't ride anymore. I just haven't in a long time. So let's get a look at. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's putting his helmet on. There it is. There. There it is.
Yeah, I'm not surprised security gave you a hard time.
He's putting his headphones.
That's good.
Hello.
He
Ladies
looks
and
scary there with just the top half, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he? That's the.
It's always fun to do a radio show with the great Gazoo.
Gazoo.
Hello,
So,
dummies.
I walk in this morning, and we had a new security guard with my bike that folds in half.
John Candy sitting at the desk today?
No, it's just a new security guard.
I can't let you upstairs with that helmet on.
And they're like,
Could you raise the screen on that helmet, please?
I was like, hi. I was like, and they're like, sir, do you have an appointment? And I'm like, no.
Yes, I have an appointment with death.
I said, we're gonna have to call up before we let you in, which is fine. Okay,
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
I said, well, I was like, I don't want to say like I'm I'm a co-founder of this company. Like I didn't.
Yeah,
want to be
but
a
I mean,
dick.
usually you've got the guys you know every single day.
Yeah.
They just let
yeah.
you up the way it works in every building in the world.
So
That's the way it works.
So they
except
say
except Langley.
they said they're gonna call. They're gonna call up, and I said, if you call up, it's just gonna forward to my cell phone
Oh, that's right.
because it's before office hours are open, and
Do
they're
you
like,
don't you have an ID or a card or a
I do
fob
have
or-
I have a badge. It just at that point it was gonna dig through my backpack. I didn't want to deal with it. This is the one thing I forgot and I'm not used to. I don't keep anything in my pockets when I ride. Right? So you're just not used to that. So you just shove everything in the bottom of your abyss of a backpack.
Yeah, because the man wants you to keep stuff in your pockets, and you're out there
Well,
riding.
how many times, Mike, when you rode, have you lost things out of your pocket?
I used to when I rode, and I rode all over the place. I used to
Yeah.
only keep one thing
What's
in my
that?
pocket: a bag of Hershey Kisses.
Mike, there's
You never know when
nothing
you're gonna
worse.
get hungry.
There's nothing worse than low blood sugar when you're out on the open road.
It was really, really. You should know. It really, really.
At the end of the ride, they were so soft.
Oh, it was wonder on the end. Well, at the end of the ride, I kept them in a Ziploc bag and I put them on ice cream.
So
It was wonderful.
I called. I brought my own syrup. Thank you.
Thank you.
I called Pony. I was like, do you mind just coming to get me in the lobby? So Pony comes down. And Pony's also
Yeah, that
perplexed.
was wild because many times you've forgotten your key fob.
Yes.
Which then we've got to let you in the door, and that's no big deal.
Yes.
But when Pony said, I've got to go down to the lobby to let Oscar in, I'm like, what's going on here? And also to paint the picture, are you bringing the bike in the lobby?
Oh yeah, it goes right in my office. That's how.
Oh God,
That's so cool.
That's how
It's foldable. Do
It's
you fold it up
foldable.
before
Yeah,
you bring it up
I
in your
fold it
office?
up. Done.
We're
That's
not, I
so
swear to
cool.
God, we're not doing a transparent ad for
No, you
Lectric
just heard Mike
bikes,
bitch about not getting one.
Lectric e-bike.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is pretty cool, though. The fact I didn't realize that you were actually bringing it up to the office.
Off the elevator into the office.
Do you
To
ride
be
it? Or do you
perfectly
push it?
honest, if I'm thinking out loud right now with the discussion we may have had about me getting the Lectric, to be honest, Rob, I have visions of the fat twins on the mini bikes.
Yeah.
If I rode the Lectric bike,
Well, I tell you what, Mike,
Big
if
saddle.
the campaign,
Big
if
saddle.
if it's a screaming success, and you were number 2 on priorities for getting a bike, I was number 3. But we will, if we both get bikes, make arrangements to put on cowboy hats and aviator sunglasses.
that'll be our publicity photo.
Exactly. That'll
From
be
behind.
the updated one. Yeah, exactly.
We'll do it that
From
way.
all sizes.
I
Yes,
rode home
absolutely.
at night last night in the evening or dusk.
Yes.
Headlight and taillight.
You're loving it. It's like
it's
you're
great.
having a little motorcycle.
And you know where?
moment.
Do you know where I park it?
Where do you park it?
But remember, all these years for some time, I was trying to explain what a little pass through between the two homes, my house and my neighbor's.
You have a spot.
I have a little sallieway or alleyway,
Yep.
and I
fantastic.
pull out the trash cans and I slide it right in there.
Oh, good for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so
Life
cool.
is good.
So I mean, I'm glad, and I would have done it. It's just sometimes you feel.
But
like,
he hasn't answered, Mike. When he exits the elevator on the 4th floor, do you ride it to your office?
Oh
or
no,
do you push
no,
it
no.
to your office?
Have
you ridden it to your office?
I've ridden around the office to get around the corridor to get it. Well, Pony and I were testing it out.
Yeah, you have. It's like a bike.
Yes.
But it's electric.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Mike, it zooms.
I think it's a very cool thing, and I think you want to talk about inner cities and carbon footprints and all that
Exactly.
stuff. And finally, that's the solution. I started seeing these, of all places, up in Maine, where they really were used for mountain bikers as an assist
to get up the hills.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now they're really when I look in the cities, they're more like regular transportation, which I think is fantastic. I'm glad. I hope we sell a lot of these electric.
Yeah.
By the way, they are price point phenomenal.
Well,
they're priced so much lower than the competitors. There's a button on the front page of our website. Click and look at Lectric e-bike. You will.
This is the last I'll say this, and then I will. This is not made up, and I can't believe it just blocked this out. 2 days ago, one of our parking attendants, your friend Robb.
And
David. Yeah, he stops me. He says, "Is that a motorcycle?" And I'm like, "No, this is the bike." He goes, so I'm showing it to him. He ordered his yesterday from our link.
Oh, that's awesome.
There we go. Okay, that's awesome.
So cool.
It's city. It's great for city, great for everywhere. But getting back to the task at hand, because we have Robb twice a week. This week, 3 weeks. But yesterday, I'll leave it to you to share what you want to share. You've been on this journey, and it's been tough. It's been tough on all of us, but it's been especially tough on you and your family. And for the, correct me if I'm wrong, very first time since you were in the hospital, you had a regular doctor's appointment, not over the phone, not any of that. You actually went in
with my actual GP. Now, I had been with that other rotten doctor a couple weeks ago, but that was essentially
the one that said he was going to retire.
Yeah, essentially, I just made that appointment so I could get him to order blood work. Well, I actually, my Dr. Kevin moved some stuff around and saw me earlier than he had availability, which was awesome. He spent an hour with me. He answered every question I had. He answered every question Carrie had. And also, here's the sign of an awesome guy.
That's long. When you think in the world of Dr. Reality, Robb, when you
I know.
really do, when you think of the average appointment that every human being gets when they go to their doctor, an hour is a frigging lifetime. That's good news. I like that.
He spent the day before actually going through my chart, and he had a list of things that he was concerned about. I mean, he prepped for this for me, and it was touching because he really does care. And people should know, I met Kevin when he was a nurse for Robert when Robert was going through chemo.
Wow.
And
so he's a real young man.
Yeah, and so we were, I spent so many overnights and Carrie spent so many overnights in the hospital that we got to know him. And he said, well, I'm nursing right now, but I'm very soon to get my doctorate. I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to get my degree from MCV. I'm commuting or whatever. And I said, well, when you graduate, let me know and you'll be my doctor. And he's been our family's doctor ever since. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
very,
I knew
very
him
cool.
since before he was a doctor. And so we go way, way back. He knows my entire history. And he said there are basically two systems or scoring systems to see where your liver's at based on blood work.
Before we get ahead of this, this is fascinating, Mike, because I've never had a relationship with a doctor that long. Like I'm still waiting for my brother and sister's friendships to break apart.
That's right.
who happen to be doctors. So this is wild, Robb, because this man has seen you. Basically, he's been warning you of this forever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is there any? And let's get to that.
Yes.
First of all, scores are good, right? Relatively good.
Yeah.
For
the thing is that the two score systems that they have for the liver. One is that they do by blood without actually doing an ultrasound or the fiber screening,
which you will have.
Yeah, that's coming up. It's called the MELD score, and I believe the Child Pew score. Both of them have shown marked improvement since the hospital. And at the hospital, I was on the precipice of, as he said, getting on LinkedIn and starting to look for a donor. I was not
that's
in
how bad.
that range.
Okay, well, that's and by the way, we haven't talked about that a lot on the show for obvious reasons, your privacy and everything else. You've been very open and honest about it. But Oscar and I were having discussions about that, and it was it's horrible. It's horrible to think.
I know more about
out of the blue.
Liver donation than I have ever known in my life, and we've had people, get sick and pass away within our social circles.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it's
and
terrifying.
It was terrifying. My question about your doctor with this long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Did he have any frustrations, and was there ever a discussion about the fact that, because that's the elephant in the room, Robb, that he kind of let you know. I remember you coming into the office one day and talking about it. He's been warning you about this, right?
I also told him, I said, well, now we're finally seeing each other face to face in the same room since the first time since the pandemic started. Now is your chance to yell at me. He says, yelling's not going to do any good. He says, what we've done, we've done. With the research I've done, I think we may have caught this at a most opportune time considering all other things that are going on. He said, this is ultimately, this is going to be something that we work on. This is going to be something we fix. And then he said, it needs to be said that there's going to be 1 million people over the next months or so telling you exactly what to do, but you need to take a little pride, and I'm very proud of you, on the 180 you did on your lifestyle. You just did it. You just shifted, and he said, that's not easy. And he has gone through a similar thing. He had an internal bleed 6 or 7 months ago. So I was able to ask him, I said, is this normal? Is this normal? Is this normal? He says, yes, even on someone, he said, I have a resting heart rate of 58. I said, you too? No, he said, I have a resting heart rate of 58. And after I got my anemia under control, he said that he would walk each day, but he wouldn't walk too far from his house because he was afraid if he fell down, no one would see him. So that whole notion of the weakness and the sort of just the ongoing tiredness is your body adjusting. And then he said, and this medication is going to complicate that, but you're going to get used to it. He said, and the diabetes is going to complicate that, but you're going to get used to it. He says, who knows how long over the 2 years, 2.5 years since we talked, how long your body has been compensating for where it was at. And because of that, your body has to totally readjust.
I have noticed when you come on, almost every time, there's a tick up. And, you didn't get 100%, great news because you did have a hemoglobin issue.
Yeah, and he said that could be explained by when you're not going to be as hydrated. They really control your hydration at the hospital. He says, how are you doing with water? I said, all I do all day is drink water. He said, if you drink an amazing amount of water, that can dilute your sample enough that it could, and it wasn't a major tick down in platelets and hemoglobin. It was like 0.2. It's just, when you see it, it's frustrating to see it go in the wrong direction.
You walked out of there with optimism, which is
extraordinarily.
The point here,
yeah,
right?
And then I said,
optimism for us as well, and hopefully for all our listeners as well that love you and want you to get better during.
We're not out of the woods yet, but we got to keep.
No. And I promise not to get happy, but also he's a.
Don't get hammered either.
A smart guy. No, that'll celebrate when I get the clear news.
Don't get happy. Don't get hammered.
But he also put me on.
I can get hammered. For
yes, I wish you would. He put me on some supplements that'll help with the manufacture of blood. I'm on a ridiculous amount of vitamin C, vitamin A, copper, geritol, dandelion root. All the people that said try milk thistle, I really appreciate it, and I'm glad it's working for you. But
doesn't that give you a big old boner?
Huge, Mike. I haven't rolled out of bed in 2 weeks.
All right, no, don't do it. He's coming back, Oscar. I can tell already.
But and you know what? I'm open to all suggestions still, but I want people to know that everything that was suggested to me via message and email and text and all that stuff, I asked him about all that stuff, and he's just so direct and so optimistic. And he left it saying this, and, of course, you don't need to tell me that I've made bad choices to get myself where I'm at. I know this. But he says, you and I have been through too much to let
this... He said this to you.
Yeah, he said, you and I have been through too much together to let this win. So come on, let's beat this. Aww. Let's do what we need to do.
Did you ever think of getting a new doctor?
Why would you even say that?
Well, because he said he's so optimistic. You don't need optimism. You need pessimism. No, we're just kidding. We're kidding. You need no bedside manner. Get out there and fix it. God damn it.
And then he
who's the celebrity he most resembles?
Gosh. It's hard to say. There was no one comes to mind.
Dr. Nicholas Van Helsing.
That's it. Exactly. Right. He looks just like Jack Elam.
Rob, you've got the right doctor. For me, it's interesting And he's doing the right thing, and he's absolutely right. There's no need for apologies now. It's meant more for let's get on the right path to recovery.
Right.
But for me, it is infinitely frustrating when you're friends with the doctor because you're friends with them, right? You're like lifelong friends since Michael, 19 years old since little Robert.
Yeah.
So it is these progressions of seeing someone so many times, like you become this almost champion of each other, which is important. It's hard to get. I'm used to doctors like literally doing blood work every time I go for a physical and then calling me and yelling about something that's means almost nothing to me, but I do what they say because I need to do it.
This is one of the hardest things for him is that their practice merged with Innova. And of course, they're all doing that all around the country. And it didn't change the quality of care or anything. Basically, it was to get into the Innova system, and they've got everything linked, and a lot of it is really quite helpful. But when that happened, they started giving him so many new patients, and he is the kind of doctor that gets to know you. And he said because of this, the first 2 visits are almost wasted because he doesn't know the person. Yeah. And you have to kind of know their personality to really be effective.
But in fairness, and the medical system, which of course has taken all the shots, and they talk about have your own doctor. This is the physician's attempt, financially, managerially, paperwork.
Yeah,
these behemoths take over these practices and lure these doctors in because, I got news for you, folks. Doctors are just like hardware stores. The Home Depot, snaps them up. That's the way.
Most doctors aren't making what they used to make.
No, and they do this to to survive financially and all that.
To go back,
it's a bummer.
To jump back to the very, very beginning of this story, when Robert was first being treated for leukemia, he went to a place called, I believe it was Fairfax Child Oncology Center. They had 4 doctors in one building. It was the tiniest practice. Everybody knew everybody. And actually, Mike, you met Dr. Greenberg many years ago.
Yeah, when we had him in on the show on the anniversary of him being cancer-free.
Genius doctor. And the one thing I always remember is Robert was bummed about having an oncology appointment on Halloween. And Dr. Greenberg came in dressed as Batman to cheer him up. Sweet. I mean, that's the kind of practice it was. But that was a 3.5-year treatment. And well into the 2nd year, they were absorbed by Innova, Children's Hospital. And make no mistake, a fantastic organization. But it changes it. It just changes it.
It gets bigger. It gets bigger. You get into a pipeline. And it's frustrating. So the good news is your lifelong physician had some good news for you, but he didn't pull any punches. That's what I think Oscar and I are
not at all.
Curious about, that with this happy, joy relationship you have with him. He gave it to you pretty straight that you were in pretty dire straits.
Dire straits indeed. And he's scheduled
hopefully on time.
I'm going to get a liver. I'm scheduled already to get my liver ultrasound and a continued blood work. The ultrasound will give a great baseline for when I get to GW for the liver guy to look at and see where we're at to actually check out damage before they do further testing. And there's one score, I believe it's called the INR, that has been consistently over the past 4 weeks or however long it's been going in the right direction. Drip by drip by drip by drip. And if it continues to go in the right direction, it shows the fact that the damage, it doesn't quantify the damage, but it says there is some liver function still going on, and that's a very good sign. So I'll grab that and, I'll take it because,
here's the question I have for both of you, and we'll get off of this, but you know what? This is when we get a chance
is true
to chat
life.
Face-to-face with Rob, and we do this. When you're talking about, here's what I hear in the land of my research, and you hear from other people about liver and all that. The liver, as far as regeneration, is not one of the organs that is known to regenerate, but it's not completely. It's not a situation where it never can improve. Correct?
No, it does. It does. It is one of the more regeneratable organs. If it's treated right, because keep in mind, people that get liver transplants
depends on the level of damage.
Yeah, it does depend on the level of damage. But as an example, think of the people that get liver transplants; they'll get half a liver, and it will actually become a whole liver in your body with, careful care.
Well,
so as long as I continue on the right track and treating it right, and if the damage isn't horrible, there's a really good shot that we caught this not at a good time, but at an optimal time, considering the fact that there's obviously some damage. But
for the listeners, and I know Oscar and myself, is it the first week in May that we find out about? I think it's the
12th. I believe it's the 12th. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So,
okay.
And it's
say hi to him too, and tell him thanks for the month and a half wait for your liver. I'm sorry. I get pissed. I get pissed.
Look,
you get pissed.
We're not out of the woods, but we have options. I mean, think about this. This is a global economy. There's got to be some liver in some country we can get for Rob if he needs one.
Well, actually,
we're not ready for the GoFundMe yet.
No, I was on Craigslist, and you know what you can get for under $800 is the Lectric e-liver.
The Lectric liver. All right, we got to take a break. Rob, thanks for joining us.
I love you guys. Thank you for having me.
We will see you tomorrow.
I'll be here.
Full episode, the full hour tomorrow. So that's going to, drink your liver food or whatever the hell you're supposed to before tomorrow.
That's exactly what the doctor said to do. Drink your liver food. Drink your
liver drink. We'll be back with more fun. Homepage coming up right here on the Michael Merrick Show.
Keystone Country 99.7. KTMOS Country driving you loco on the Cattle Drive to Work show. Good morning, America. It's me, Chuck Wagon, on Speewack County's best country, playing the country hits while you're spraying your stinky pets. Have you ever thought about being a KTMOS talking head? Well, have you? Well, partner, it's easy to do. Just drop us a note at rob@mikeomerashow.com. That's Rob with 2 B's, doodah. Tell us why you'd be a great talking head, and be sure to include your phone number, and don't forget your name. Oh, what's my name? Fuck you, that's my name. Here's Buck Owens.
You don't know me, but you don't like me.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by one of our favorite advertisers, Harry's. Listen, I'm not a monster, but there are certain things that I am very particular about. For example, don't mess with my morning routine. I know what I like, and everything I like involves the amazing products from Harry's. I use it all, every morning. Razor, face wash, body wash, the best shave gel I've ever put on my face. Found an extra one in the cabinet.
Yes.
So happy today. Blades that stay sharp so long, I swear you won't know when to change them. That is a fact. I never know. I just kind of wing it. How about this? First-time Harry's customers can redeem a starter set for just $3 at harrys.com/TMOS. That includes a 5-blade cartridge, a weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and travel cover to protect your blades on the go. A $13 value, all for just $3. And wait till you try the newly designed handle. I can't believe they bested my original Harry's handle. It feels so good in your hand, you can't wait to shave again. Again, I am not a monster. I just have impeccable taste. Thank you. Remember, new look, same incredible offer. There's really never been a better time to give Harry's a try. Just go to harrys.com/TMOS today to get your starter set for just $3. That's harrys.com/TMOS. And before we get to the homepage here, just wanted to say I feel like cautiously optimistic for the first time in a long
Robb?
time. I really do. I think hopefully
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I'm happy he's taking the steps. And it's a long journey. It's just the beginning.
It is. And when he finally there's enough of the ball busting, I look forward to hopefully many, many years of making fun of his liver. Thank you very much.
From the 4 corners of the World Wide Web and into your digital device, it's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the homepage. In a land long, long ago, far, far away, Oscar Santana was involved in reality television in a very large way. And Oscar, you were one of the first people who came to me and talked about the nature of reality television. Up until that point, I was a rube, right?
Scripted.
I give you this story. I never put Kardashians in my news. Never. I hold up this story to give you the classic example of the manipulative, money-grubbing Kardashian family doing this sheerly for publicity and to generate numbers for their show. All right, here's the way the story reads. Ever since Kim Kardashian started having kids, people have been saying, just wait until they're old enough to use the internet. Well, that time has arrived. The first episode of The Kardashian hits Hulu today, and we learn that Kim's 5-year-old son, Saint, has seen an ad for her sex tape while playing the video game Roblox. I cry BS, BS, BS. Manufactured, knowing they're going to get the hits.
Oh,
this
absolutely.
will be a massive episode.
Splash.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed that I got pulled into the same article on a different site, and I said, how is this possible?
Right.
Right? And it all goes back to that sex tape, and I don't want to diminish. Look, there's plenty of people that have sex tapes, and they don't do anything with it. The Kardashians happen to build an empire off that one leap to fame.
Yeah,
so
you really want to add it up. That's what she did.
You got to give them credit. They've done something with it. But to bring it back all these years later,
shamelessly, no regard for it's just their growth.
It's your kid.
So anyway, you're going to hear that. Oh, I have to watch the Kardashians where they talk about their kid finding out about this. They don't care. They don't care at all.
No.
There's not one bit of them that care. The mother doesn't care. The sisters don't care. It just made me ill. Anyway, I wanted to share that way. Be not fooled, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry.
Well, on Hulu, it's going to be hard to find anyways.
Here's another one that's going to make you squirm a little bit. Molly Shannon, very, very funny on Saturday Night Live. She was once sexually harassed by Gary Coleman.
Oh, no.
I don't know where this stuff comes from.
Gary.
This was back when she was trying to break into showbiz. She got signed by Gary Coleman's agent. The agent took Molly to Gary's penthouse apartment to meet him and then left them alone together. Gary had Molly sit down on his bed, and he started tickling her. Then he got more aggressive.
Weird.
I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry. Molly says she was trying to be polite, but he was relentless. He was bouncing on the bed, trying to kiss her and get on top of her. Every time she threw him off, he got back on her. This sounds like a Saturday Night Live sketch,
like
but
a gremlin.
And she was starting to get tired from all the activity. That's a little weird. When she got off the bed, Gary grabbed onto her leg, and she had to kick him off. Then she finally got away and locked herself in the bathroom. Gary stuck his hands under the door. This is now getting like a horror movie, and said, quote, "I can see you, silly Billy."
No.
That's some weird stuff. She finally escaped and told the agent he needed to keep a closer eye on Gary. But she still wishes she'd stood up for herself more. Well, at least she got away.
She's got a new show coming out here.
There it is.
I don't know what it says about, like, no one should ever attack anybody, but I feel like if one of these, how old was he? He wasn't like a grown man.
He was probably a grown man, right? Or at least a young adult.
Yeah, a young adult.
When he was Gary, what's happening? I don't know the dates. That would be significant.
It really blows my mind.
It's weird. This is good news for me. I might watch it. A prequel series about the foul-mouthed teddy bear and his BFF, John Bennett from Ted, is coming to Peacock, thanks to Seth MacFarlane, and it'll also be called Ted. It's not going to have Wahlberg in it, obviously, but Seth will return to voice Ted. Hey, I can hear the kid. I can hear the fat kid breathing. He's also going to be a writer, director, and co-showrunner. Potential for disaster, potential for the land of suck. Absolutely.
What's that? He's so wealthy.
Yeah.
He can pay for the success.
Well, we'll see. I hope we get a laugh or two out of it.
He's not doing it for the money.
No, but if he's going to write, maybe some of the gags will be good. 10-episode series will take place in 1993.
Oh, I'm in. Never mind.
When Mark Wahlberg's character John is 16 years old, so that's good.
This is great. This is great. You've sold
Ted's
me.
moment of fame is past, and he's living with John and his family in Boston.
They're not fake.
Yeah.
He was a child star.
See? I think it's intriguing. Just like in the movies, Ted isn't always the best influence, so we'll have to see what troubles they get into. John will be played, I don't know if you know this guy, Max Burkhalter from Parenthood. I don't know this guy. No release date has been announced, but, for Ted fans, I stop on Ted when it's on there. I do. All right, here we go. Now, just please be kind.
I will.
All right. I know I gave you a hard time about the e-bike. Who is the biggest a-hole you know?
It's not you. Jesus.
Thank you. A new study found it probably won't take you long to come up with a name. They don't have to be a close friend or just anyone in your life who's a total jerk. Researchers at the University of Georgia asked 400 people and found most of them were able to answer pretty quickly. This part is amazing, though. A full half of the a-holes that people mentioned fell into one of these categories: an old boss, an estranged family member, or an ex. They also found middle-aged men I'm a little older than middle-aged, are more likely to be a-holes than any other demo. The most common a-hole traits listed were manipulative and irresponsible. Aggressive and entitled were mentioned too, so was knowing that your behavior annoys people, but not caring. Have you heard, I know you came to the show with it today, the new app BeReal.
Yes.
This is going to explode. Is this under the umbrella of some larger company?
No.
Because I feel like an investment opportunity. Things like Instagram and Facebook are full of photos that we set up posts for, add filters to. BeReal does not allow any filters. Let me explain more to you about this. Once a day, at a random time, you get an alert telling you to post a picture of what you're doing at that exact moment. Now, obviously, you can play it a little bit, but, not a lot. You have to take the picture within a certain amount of time. It actually takes 2 pictures simultaneously, one with the front camera on your phone and one with the back camera. You only have 2 minutes to post. So there's no time to add a filter, and the app doesn't have editing tools anyway. So it's really more about the way you look and where you are.
Yes.
Right? What you're doing, you can put stuff away. You can turn the screen off. You don't see your friends' photos until you've posted one, so you can't just creep on people without being a part of it. This is something else. What a genius move. I mean, really. I saw this immediately, and I know you did some research on it as well. It's brilliant.
Well, I signed up, Mike, because I'm a creep.
Did you really?
Yes, I'm a creep.
Did you really?
Well, it's the number 4 app in the App Store. I like winners. And
that's good.
This is what is rough. I don't mind the filters. Like, I'm okay with not seeing the uggos. I don't need any of that in my life. Give me all the pretty things to including myself. I don't post many pictures. I like to lurk.
This will generate content for everything. This will generate content with people in a particular circumstance.
Find me. You'll get this is the boring. This is what's going to be great. I thought about this. I said, all right, people think that we're punting at work all the time. I'll show you where I'm rotting all the time.
Amen. And you'll know plenty about me. Fairway, 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 fairway. If you miss the 2-minute window, you can still post, but everyone will see that you did it later. 2/3 of the people on it have joined since January. Not everyone loves it. Some people say the time limit makes them anxious. Oh,
get over
of course.
it.
Then don't sign up for it. One 25-year-old woman told BuzzFeed she was crushed the other day when she posted a photo, then found out in real time that all her friends were at a party she wasn't invited to. There you go. I love it, love it, love it. Now a little something. There's a Brazilian guy. He had to undergo emergency surgery after reportedly putting a dumbbell up there, during an ill-advised attempt at, gratification. A case study detailing the exercise of stupidity was published last week in the International Journal of Surgery Case Reports. He's 54. He reported to a hospital after failing to extract the 4.4-pound metal weight. He experienced a variety of symptoms, cramping, abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting in small volume. Wow, he was in dire straits. Doctors decided to scan the region with an X-ray. They discovered an 8-inch long dumbbell that was lodged. It just never stops, these things. The team then opted, after trying some tools, for manual extraction because the tools just weren't getting it done. Thankfully, the operation was successful. The lucky fellow was discharged after 3 days without any complications. The case study reports that retain. I'm going to use the medical term here. They're called retained. I'm sorry. They're called retained rectal objects, and they generally affect males between 20 and 40 years old.
This is what I thought. That app Grindr solved all of this.
No, and
like, you don't.
Real time might. Real time might.
No.
Right now?
Grindr is meant for those who are looking for relationships in certain ways.
I get it.
And because. Okay, I could see maybe throwing like a Sharpie marker up there to see what's what, but not a dumbbell.
All I know is one thing, Oscar. I know that I had much greater flexibility in my 20s and 30s. I do. I really.
Can you imagine doing an air squat with that thing in your dump truck?
Oh my God,
Jesus
that stuff.
Christ.
That never been a thing for me. Never really. I got a penny caught in my nose one time. We're going to take a short break, and we will come back. It's true. I put a penny up my nose. Yeah. Almost had to go to the hospital. We'll be back with more fun right here, everybody. Woo! It's a picture of Carla from Vegas or New Orleans.
Yeah, next to Dirk.
The thing about it is he's got that big Dirk energy.
Big Dirk energy, yes.
That was good.
The Mike O'Mara Show podcast is chock full of laughs and stories. Every episode improves your mood, lifts your spirits, and gives you more male vitality. But for maximum impact, you have to subscribe to the TMOS bonus show. Only then can you get Big Dirk energy.
Get hard for your money back.
It's P1 Hall of Famer Dirk Vastrick. Big Dirk energy is a real thing. I've been listening for almost 12 years, and the TMOS bonus show always puts a smile on my face, a spring in my step, and let's just say there haven't been any complaints in the bedroom.
Ooh, yeah!
Subscribe to the TMOS bonus show today and get Big Dirk energy. Click the banner at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Thank you very much, Mark Riddell, Twitch, and Jim Amato. By the way, those guys was in contact this week with them. Said they're sending a bunch of promos.
They are.
I don't know what's happened. Whoever is responsible for chopping them up and getting them on the air, come on, boys. Click, click. Chop, chop, whatever it is. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Cornerstone. I have to tell you, home prices soared nationally last year.
Yes.
And if you're down here in Southwest Florida, oh, my God. They were pushed up by soaring demand, limited supply of properties for a sale in 2021. Home prices had their highest year-over-year growth ever, like since they've been keeping the records of it, like over 120%, 160%. It's insane. While the days of ultra-low rates may be behind us, the days of saving money are right now. Credit card debt, like inflation, has been rising month over month to new heights, and now is a great time to tap into some of that excess equity to take cash out for any reason. And in most cases, listen to this, it's tax-deductible, people. You need the advice of my friend Mark Livingstone and his team at Cornerstone First Financial. Whether it's a home improvement, consolidating debt, a divorce buyout, or dream vacation, why put it off any longer? With their no-obligation rate quote and 100% satisfaction guarantee, why would you call anyone else? Cornerstone First Financial, the number one choice for all of us here at TMOS, and the friend of the listener since 2002. Oh, I'm sorry, the friend of the TMOS listener, not since. That's just I screwed it up. My thing went bad. The number, please. Thank you. 202-625-1221. That's 202-625-1221 or cornerstonefirst.com. Thank you, Cornerstone First Financial. We truly appreciate that. Yeah, this is the stuff that I really don't know all the inner workings and details. Might as well just put it out there because it's on my mind. We've been taking care of a little business. So, Oscar, when they get the promos in, is that because Robb's unwell or because Pony's not doing it?
No.
What's happening?
There's a miscommunication. They send it to me as well. I just preview them to make sure that nothing crazy gets on air. And that's
You're not vetoing like 8-9 promos, right? Are you? Or
no, I think I've only vetoed 2.
Okay, all right.
Of all that have come in, yeah. So I'll make sure that we get them on. I'll jump in and get them to Pony.
Okay, that's good because
it's on me. I took full responsibility because Rob's
nice. Yeah. It's nice that they are generating those.
Yeah.
It's also for me nice that I am generating fatigue. That actually had me sit my wife down last night and say I'm having trouble keeping up. It's just sometimes I realize that I have a wonderful lifestyle. I truly do. But what people don't see is
by the way, earned.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. God love you. It's kind of you to say that. The idea of my life being my own, I am not wheeled around in a wheelchair just yet, but there is no question that I have married a significant whirling dervish. A whirling dervish that at the beginning of the school year, here's how it went down. We got the report that Michael's bus driver would come to the house, come to the neighborhood at 6:56, which was a total half hour earlier than it had been the previous year. We're like, oh, my God, what to do? Did a few of these 6:56 pickups, and then Carla suggested to me that we drive Michael to school, and I said, I can do that, and it'll be a quality time, and it has been. It's actually a great part of my day. But it doesn't change the fact that at that point we were thinking about rolling out at about 7:15, 7:20 in the morning, and we wouldn't have the early call, and we'd basically buy a half hour. You know what it's like in the morning to get going and to get rolling.
Yeah.
And that has now been modified because Mrs. O'Mara, with her level of fitness, is now, prior to going out and making people's skin glow, she is getting it done at a 7 a.m. workout. All right? And I know, and God bless her for doing that. I truly, so now.
Mike, you're a lucky man.
That alarm, though, for somebody who tapes a program at 9 a.m. in the morning, that alarm is going off at 5:45. And then she schedules people because she's working full-time and I'm really not skillful in the domestic arts. She schedules people once a month to come in and tidy the house up. All right?
A luxury we hope to all afford. Yes.
Stop it with that. Don't junkie me today, all right? I'm just telling you the reality. So she schedules them to come in at 10:45. So yesterday it's up at 5:45 where I'm just like, it's doing my new nutritional program, running out of the house as soon as this show is over, gathering up my things. I have the pain, which is the way of saying we have the pain to visit the facilities, the restroom in the house. No time because the people are coming in. Then it's out. It's running over to Happy Valley, and then it's running back home in traffic at 6 o'clock at night, help my son with his homework, maybe catch Wheel of Fortune. And I look at her and I said, I'm struggling. I'm struggling to keep up. She's like, well, you play golf. I said, please don't say that. It's my sanity. It's my drug. It's what I do. But I will say that yesterday was one of those days where every year on the calendar, your boy was feeling it. I was feeling it. I was feeling that. I was.
I will make you feel. Usually, this is when I pounce, and then I triple down. By the way, I had a moment last night where my wife wasn't bothering me, and I was quiet, and I said, I wonder if there's something about Gilbert that I can watch alone without being interrupted.
Okay, and I get you. I feel you. We all did it.
There's a documentary, 2017. It's out on Peacock, if you have Peacock. I found it, and I watched it. And I'm watching it, and, we're all kind of thinking about our mortality, especially when you see our heroes die so young. And what I thought was fascinating, also a little gloomy and sad, was that his father died. Gilbert's father died when he was 66, and Gilbert was 18. Gilbert passes when he's 67, which is something that no one really had talked about, and I equated. You learn this throughout the documentary, talking about his family. He leaves behind a beautiful family, and I start thinking about, well, like, my father is still in his 80s. I hope he's okay. Starting to have those small health scares. There is a connection between your DNA and the way you live and how long your parents get to you'll probably live, right? You start thinking about that, and through all the trials and tribulations you've had, like, I think Robb's going to be okay because HBS is still like doing his thing. You, Mike, of all people, have been through the most health scares and ups and downs as far as health wise, and you've come out with like this wonderful attitude of like, what's next? The only issue you're having right now is you're going through a new diet, which is making you have less energy. Otherwise, you'd be just fine.
I get pockets where it's feeling good and pockets where I don't. as far as Gilbert, I know I mentioned this yesterday, Oscar, and I know you liked it. We all did. Gilbert was just funny and made people in the business laugh, and we all loved him.
So
for that
well
because
respected, and such a friend of the show.
And the Edge, the old school marrying the Edge. Just what a guy. I looked at some of the comedy. If you get a chance, and I'm telling the listeners this again because I hadn't seen it until he passed away. I never knew that he, arguably, in my humble opinion, this had to be the single funniest episode of Hollywood Squares. A very bland show.
I watched it last night.
Fracturingly funny.
That's what took me to the documentary.
Oh, if you get a chance, it
so
won't take that
funny.
much of your time. It's like 17 minutes worth of Hollywood Squares.
I don't know how. That's when TV was like, if it's funny, leave it on.
Yes,
right.
And they did that. They did that. They went to commercial break. They kept it. It was fan. If you want to see, and what it is, I'm not giving a spoiler alert.
No.
It's a contestant getting the answers wrong again and again and again, and kind of a combo between Penn and Teller and Gilbert Gottfried. Absolutely, fracturingly funny. Yeah, I know the way I feel about it right now, and you and I both have reacted to Robb's situation, and I've made modifications, and what I'm going through right now during an adjustment week are periods of where I wake up and I'm like, wow, I don't feel this way anymore, followed by a bit of a crash where you're changing the way your body works with things, and I'm just so blessed to have somebody that's into that. And I know you're married to somebody who's into that, and it's helpful, and it's taking full advantage.
I got on the scale yesterday, and, I've been teetering. I think I celebrated in the midst of the pandemic getting under 200, and I'm 195.
Yeah.
And I'm well, I remember when I was 195 before, no problem. I'd like to get to 175 again, but just by... Robb has changed both our lives in certain mentalities of what can we do? And I hope our listeners are doing the same.
Congratulations to you. I'm a full person ahead of you. Anyway, we're going to take a little break. Small person, but a person. Not a big person.
An adolescent.
A really petite, full-grown model. Anyway, we're taking a break here, and we will come back with... I have a legal question. It's going to be a little political. Be warned.
The UBS Evening News with Howard Beale.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a pandemic. You're upset and you're angry and you stare at your podcast player and you say, please don't take my Friday cocktail party or my shopping center or my bonus show or my steel belted radals. Luckily, you've got the Michael Bear Show and it's not going anywhere. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. You've got to say, I'm a human being, goddammit. My life has value. And that's okay, because you can always go to your computer, open a window, and type MichaelBarrisShow.com. Do it. You'll be glad as hell, and you won't have to take it anymore. MichaelBarrisShow.com, making you as glad as hell. I must make my witness.
There you go. Thanks, Howard Beale. It's a promo about a guy in the 1970s movie. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Good news, warm temps are right around the corner. Back east, they're warmer already. If you want soft grass under your feet, you will need your lawn bag. Sunday, remember that name. Sunday gets your grass growing and keeps it healthy all season long. Their custom plans include fertilizer and everything you need to easily care for your lawn. You're going to love it. And with ingredients like, listen to this, seaweed, iron, and molasses. You can feel good with kids and pets being around without those nasty chemicals. All you have to do, visit GetSunday.com. You put your address in, and their lawn analysis tool does the rest. It's amazing to watch. They use soil and climate data to create a personal nutrient plan for your lawn. It's delivered to your door when you need it. Just attach the ready-to-use pouch to a garden hose like I did and spray. It takes less than 15 minutes. Best of all, the stuff really works. I've used it. I know. Sunday can help you grow a beautiful lawn without the guesswork or the nasty chemicals. And Sunday is offering our listeners 20% off. Full season plans start at just $129, and you can get 20% off at checkout when you visit getsunday.com/TMOS. That's 20% off your custom plan at getsunday.com/TMOS. All right. People ask me all the time when I mentioned what I do for a living. People say, oh, is it sports or politics? That's the number one question I get. It's weird. It's what happened to radio. And a lot of people, I understand that's the format they hear. I say we're an inch deep and we're a mile wide. Well, so do you ever talk about, and people follow up sometimes, do you ever talk about politics? I say, I do occasionally. But this is what I wanted to talk about. I'm driving along down here in a very red area that is Southwest Florida. And I drive by.
Red is what
home.
again?
What's that? Red is the right. Thank you very much, Oscar. Appreciate that. And I'm driving along, and I don't know whether I want to preach right now or just say what I saw and ask my legal question. Because I thought I'm not going to do anything about it. Don't worry. But I'm driving along, and there is a house in a neighborhood very close to here. And I see in the house all the flags. And the flags say 2024 for old orange hair, and that's cool. And they've got this and that. And then flying in the middle of a neighborhood with plenty of children, I see F. Biden. And look, I know that there are bumper stickers and there are. When did it become acceptable in a family neighborhood to fly a flag over your house 24/7 with the F word on it? I just am curious what I can't imagine. Carl and I were driving by this, and I said, look, you know my politics, you know how I feel, but the idea of flying that in a neighborhood with kids, where the F are we? I realize that I disagree with people and they disagree with me. When did it become socially acceptable that you could put something up in a neighborhood with children? I don't get it. That is horrible to me.
We let it. We let it.
When we let
it. And lucky our politics are aligned, not with our entire audience, and I get that. So
right.
I feel the same way. To your question, in this stance, if someone had an F Trump flag, like that's not like I could see, we had one in our yard from the Lincoln Project said riding for Biden, right? That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I saw an F Putin thing. It's not. You just excuse me. I mean, you're rolling around and you're doing that. With a 4-year-old in the car, it says, "What does that mean, Daddy or Mommy?" You just that particular type of thing. Look, I'm all for you want to put your Trump 2024. You want to put your whatever bumper sticker on. You want to put your "Don't blame me." None of this is saying F. And I'm not going to talk about the politics of it.
Yeah.
It's just there was a time, and I would hope that we would get back to a time where.
What about just putting the candidates up, their name?
Fine.
Remember you had that billboard that they put up on your lawn?
Right. Yeah.
Same deal.
It had a giant. I was
huge,
cool with that.
Huge.
I love political signs. I always used to measure a candidate by, hey, how many signs do you have in the yard? How many signs do you have? That's America, baby.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. But the whole idea of F the guy that won, not my president, but even not my president is borderline. But the F,
but he
first of all, is it legal to fly the F word on a giant flag in your yard?
I don't think you can threaten. It's not a threat, so
it's not a threat.
Yeah.
No, it's not a threat at all. It's just weird. It was weird, and it as Robb Spiewak would say, it gave me a sad. That's all I wanted to say about that. It was a bummer. It was a drag, and I wish it wasn't night.
I appreciate you bringing that up because. We don't get to see a lot of yard signs here in the city, so I don't have that background, or I'm not looking at the world through your eyes.
Let's go Brandon is acceptable to me. You're not putting profanity up there like that.
For your
listen,
kids.
I'm a shock jock. I do a weekly show that you choose to listen to, and I use the F word. I've used it multiple times in my life. What I don't do in a family neighborhood is fly a flag with the F word on it. And I think it's where we are. And, man, when did we just start hating to this degree? I hope it goes away. hope sometime, and really, you know what I wish for? Somebody's going to, now my Democrats are going to scream at me now. I wish for a reasonable Republican to get elected. Somebody bridge the gap. Somebody take away some of this hatred. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry I occupied all this time.
No.
But we ran short on time.
Worthy
with Rob,
conversation.
joining us today. Man, oh man, this SMH, as the kids would say online, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a break. Come back with the audio vault. It's okay. It's not great today. It's okay. We'll do that when we come back. The guy that does it isn't here. Hi.
Hello, fans, coming to you live. It's the O'Mara Wrestling Federation in our main event match. The Bolivian Butcher squares off against his most dominant opponent to date. In the steel cage, it's Oscar Santana versus the English language.
I might have clarified this in the past, but you said manila envelope? I thought they were vanilla envelopes.
You are so stupid. Seriously, you thought it was vanilla
Yeah, because I like vanilla colors.
English may be his second language, but he's going to need first aid after that beatdown.
And with my brother and myself.
You don't need to say myself.
The hell you
because you went
say?
from an object to a subject.
Santana sure took a beating here tonight, but don't miss his commentary and opinions every Friday on TMOS. It's no holds barred on Oscar's Take. Tune in next week and see the brawl for it all. The one-man mob. Robb Spiewak takes on diabetes in a winner takes foot match. Don't miss it, brother.
That is an old promo. That's weird. We were talking about it at the beginning of the show. Oscar is zipping around Washington, D.C. In a wonderful new product that we are delighted to tell you about. His brand new Lectric e-bike. You are all in on this.
I love it.
And I can get it. The Lectric e-bike mission is simple. Make e-bikes accessible for everyone. It's surprisingly affordable at just $799. That is way less than the competition, and you're on it now, tooling around D.C., right?
Look, if you thought you didn't have enough space, you're wrong, because this thing folds in half. I live in 888 square feet in the city. There's more than enough room.
They're comfortable even for people who don't normally ride bikes.
I love it.
Plus, Lectric e-bikes fold up, as Oscar tells you. They ship free, and they come pre-assembled and pre-charged. You'll be on the road in no time. You can cover up to 45 miles at up to 28 miles per hour on just a 4 to 6 hour charge. And it's great not buying gas. Plus, it's way more eco-friendly than a car. Explore the great outdoors or the city while keeping the air clean. It goes over any terrain, including snow. And here's the one I have to stop every, and sand. So you planning on taking it out to the desert anytime soon?
Well, there is Amazon's building a new HQ across the river here. Maybe I'll go there.
Just tool around in the sand. Join the affordable e-bike revolution. Go to lectricebikes.com and use code TMOS to get a free foldable mountable bike lock with any bike purchase. That's a free bike lock when you use code TMOS at lectricebikes.com. We thank you. We've certainly talked about you. We love Lectric e-bikes.
What's that sound? What a sound. Did you hear that? Make some noise.
Soundtown.
One of the sounds I always like is a real happening that gets caught on tape. This is a woman. She's talking and then moves people out of the way immediately before what could have been a fatal rock slide.
Oh.
Listen to this.
Direction where the rock... A rock slide.
Oh my God.
Literally 30 seconds from getting killed. Let me think about that.
I ran screaming down the road, just so you know, on the beach, flailing my arm.
Ladies and gentlemen, now for the second way I wanted to present this, let's listen to Carla putting the dishes away.
Direction where the rock...
Just kidding. Sorry about that. Wealthy people spend money on lots of different weird things, Oscar. I don't think in my worst day with fabulous riches, if I was a young man about to have a child, that I would pay somebody $10,000 to name my baby. This is up there with dog psychologists and all that. This lady charges, I think, maybe a minimum of $10,000 to name a baby. Let's listen to her. Biatch.
Here are my top suggestions for a little brother. I would say Emmett, Miller, and Grady, Wilson, Waylon, Fletcher, Langston, or Harvey. I'm kind of trying to evoke a ritzy Art Deco 1920s revival. Happy baby naming.
What?
Of course she talks like that. Of course she talks like that.
Why?
I don't know. People are just, people are just out of it. I mean, people don't want to.
Well, if they could steer you away from Wadhams, maybe it's worth it.
Yeah, but she just gave away the whole thing.
No, that's just if you want that style of name, Pony.
Right, exactly, Pony. And I hope she gets haunted by George Carlin. I really do. Sick of guy's named Todd. This is a sweet story. Just a very nice lady. A lady, old lady, sweet lady in a neighborhood was going to be evicted. She didn't have any money, and the neighbors get together and help her out and help this little old lady out. I love this. Made me cry.
The charm of the neighborhood. She's a gardener. She's a grandmother, actually a great-grandmother.
I always been in the neighborhood doing volunteer work and artwork, and I'm just a mother of the neighborhood. It makes me feel so wonderful and good.
Yeah, there's good. Neighbors all pitching together to make sure a lady doesn't get kicked out of her house.
Sweet.
This is a great clip here. Tim McGraw tells a story about getting on an elevator with Willie Nelson. And cops with a dog get on. This is just short, but it's wonderful. With Willie, we all know Willie. Check this out.
I got a great Willie Nelson story if we have time for it. We were at the CMAs one year, and my security guy, EJ, and I got on the elevator, and Willie got on the elevator with us, and he's like, "Hey, Tim, how you doing?" "I'm doing good." So the next floor we stopped, and two police officers walked in with a dog.
God.
Everybody's quiet. We go one more floor, and the police officers and the dog got off, and the doors closed, and Willie looked over at me and says, "Bomb dog."
Willie knew it wasn't no dog.
I got a great Willie.
Oh, hey, stop it. Not a drug-sniffing dog. Okay, I'm going to try to balance this out. I'll see how this goes over. If it doesn't, I'll counterbalance it.
Okay.
This is Alexa telling kids Easter jokes. Enjoy.
What's the Easter Bunny's favorite kind of music? Hippity hop. Why did the baby chick cross the road? To meet up with her peeps. Did you hear about the dirty Easter egg hunt? It was hosted by the Dust Bunny. What is the Easter Bunny's favorite restaurant? IHOP. What happens when you fall in love on Easter? You live happily ever after. What is the Easter egg's least favorite day of the week? Friday. Thank you. Yeah. I'll be here until Sunday.
I have to balance it out. From yesterday's show, Gilbert Gottfried telling a much nicer kid's joke right here.
A talent agent is sitting in his office. A family walks in. Man, woman, their two kids, and their little dog. Their talent agent goes, "What kind of an act do you do?" The father starts f***ing his wife. The wife starts f***ing off the son. The son starts f***ing on the sister. The sister starts f***ing the dog. Then the son starts f***ing his father. The daughter starts f***ing the father. Then the father on the floor. The mother on the floor. The dog is on the floor. They all jump down into the and they start and each other. And then they take a bow. And the talent agent says, "I'll wait till you're ready. They might have to clean this up for TV." The talent agent says, "Well, that's an interesting act," which is kind of an understatement. He says, "What do you call yourself?" And they go, "The Aristocrat."
There it is.
Now leaving SoundCloud.
Thank you, Gilbert.
Please come again.
Sometimes stuff's just too sweet. I gotta muddy it up a little bit, so to speak. Hey, we got to come back tomorrow because we got a bonus show for you. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be fantastic. I know you got a meeting to go to. We'll get out of here quick. For Robb Speedwack, Oscar Santana, and Matt Bloom, Pony Boy. This is Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
When did you first start dreaming of this moment?
Who cares? Nobody gives a crap.
Get in the hole!